Salutations! Welcome to the conversation. I am your host, the Queen of Shade, and I would like to formally, cordially, gleefully, and joyfully welcome you to One-on-One with the Queen of Shade Season 2. There are going to be a lot of surprises in this season. You're going to see a lot of familiar faces that have been here before, and some new ones, and it's going to be an amazing journey of discovery. Remember, these are not interviews. These are interviews. Let us see what your soul looks like. So pull up a chair and don't forget to comment, like, share, and most of all, subscribe. To follow the show, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Queen of Shade, and you can follow the show there. There's also a podcast version of the show, but that hasn't come all the way out yet. I did a soft launch, but that will be coming out too. Season 1 was absolutely crazy. There are 253 episodes of Season 1. Yes, I was running off of pure adrenaline, pure spirit, pure excitement, and we got that done. So you can expect Season 2 to be just as magnanimous and crazy and explosive. There will be some great conversations that you will be able to take things away from and apply to your natural life. 253 episodes. Let's see what we do for Season 2. I love all of you and thank you for supporting, watching, commenting, liking, sharing, because baby, we're on this journey together. We're not on here alone. I'm not on here alone. My guests are not on here alone. You're right along with us. So once again, welcome to the conversation. Now let's get to the conversation.
You fall. The Queen of Shade.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. Mister, how's your wife and kids? Do they know you like to handle this? I say, mister, why punish your son? Cause his daddy likes my kind of fun. And at night you always call my phone. You're always asking if I'm all alone. And when I tell you that I need your love, you come running just to feel me up.
Brandon Fowler. Salutations, Queen of Shade here, coming to you with another very special presentation. We are full speed ahead with Season 2 of One-on-One with the Queen of Shade, and we are so excited about who's coming to chat with us and talk to us on this platform. I have been talking to people all over the world, and it has always been an amazing opportunity. But a lot of these faces that you're seeing, I have asked back personally because they gave such good conversation the first time, and we're friends, so it's good to catch up because, you know, you have to understand that word friend means a lot. Some of us are not in each other's lives every day. We're all around the world and traveling, and yet and still we get to come here and catch up in front of you fine people. Having said that, I have someone that you need to meet. He was here before, and I believe that he was talking to us from Hawaii. So we're going to find out where he is now as we speak to him, and we're just going to chat and have a conversation. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome Mr. Brandon Fowler. Hi.
Hey, how you doing, Queen?
Pretty good. Did that throw you off? It throws everybody.
No, it just made me chuckle a little bit. It's very nice. I
Yeah.
like
We have to
it.
make sure you got a proper welcome. How are you, my friend? It has been a while.
Oh yes, it's been about 3 years, but yeah, you got me a few months into my time in Hawaii. So yeah, my time is up in Hawaii now. So I just moved to North California.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, because my God, you get to travel all over the world. That's such a beautiful thing. It is.
Hmm.
And I want to also say before, because I don't even go into the personal stuff, but I just want to say that the reason that you're traveling is because you're serving us. So I want to say thank you for your service. I want to
Oh,
say
thank
that.
you.
Thank you for your service, because seriously, I feel better knowing that we have people like you out there doing well for us. No, because, especially with the climate of what's going on today.
Yeah, tell me about it. Oof,
Yeah.
it's a thin line. It's a tightrope to walk right now, especially being a military member.
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah. So I don't want to commandeer our time with that, but just
No,
it's just really good because you've always been, as they can see, a happy person, a healthy person. Always on your own journey, always doing your own thing, and I love that. And I'm looking forward to talking to you today.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, hitting me up, and we able to carve some time out. So yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
It's a real honor.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Like, my God. So, okay, like I said, Northern California, you're a military person. You're still military personnel. So, my God. But here's what I want to say. Are you having some fun over there yet? Like, are you able to have some fun yet?
Oh yeah, I've been in California a little bit over a month. I was at Folsom. Like I wasn't even in my place yet, but I had some friends out here invited me out there. So I went to San Francisco. I'm loving being back on the mainland. Just so I can travel. Hawaii was very kind of like just I mean it's isolated. So at least the trip I would make is at least 5 hours, and that's just to make it to the mainland. But I was it's a 2 hour drive to San Francisco. I was just in Reno a couple weeks ago, and I just came from Vancouver. So it's been great. I'm loving traveling. I'm loving meeting my social media friends in real life. So that's been a great thing. So I'm grateful for all the opportunities I've had.
Isn't that the best?
Yeah, it's
You know,
great.
I get so upset with people because they say like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It's online. You shouldn't take it seriously." And the thing about it is, you really should,
Mhm.
because I myself, I have a net worth of beautiful people that I've been compiling since 2003.
Oh
And
wow,
I went through MySpace, YouTube, like I was on every platform, and those people are still my friends today.
that's awesome.
They live all over the world, and I must admit, it is the best feeling when you go somewhere and you see who you've seen. Because, see, people don't understand this. When you're a watcher, like when you're looking at somebody and you're looking at their content, you get to do that in silence. No one interrupts you, and you really get to see what you like about that person. You really get to see how you feel about that person, and there are none of those extra pressures on you. And that's what I
Mhm.
always like about the internet, because I say this, most people, I had a mainstream career and I walked away. I always wanted the internet. I always did, because it allowed me to touch a lot of people at one time, especially while I slept.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
that's quite some insight. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, think about it now. Like I wake up, time zone wise. Like when I post something on my time, some people across the world are seeing it. Some people on my time are seeing it. Sometimes I've woken up to like, oh wow, this is great. Just like comments and things like that. So yeah, that's quite a perspective. I didn't really consider that. So
You know
yeah.
what's so funny? I love, like I said, this became a business for me, but it's the start of passive income.
Yes, yes,
The
yes.
start of passive income. You get used to it because many of us online, we become brands and business owners and start actually having companies and things that we forge based on what we've done online and who we've met. So it literally is, it's like it leads you into passive income. And
Hmm.
literally, like, I love the internet. I love the internet. I've had some people try to discredit my network. Oh, well, you've never met them in person, and it's like, bitch. I've met a lot of people and I've told them things that I would never tell you in person and vice
Hmm.
versa. And with me, my boys can call me and be like, hey, I need some help. And I'm able to help them in whatever way I can. Like they have become my friend group because
Yeah, your little tribe. Yeah.
yeah, thank you. That's the better word. Tribe. Because where I am, there's not too much going on around me. No,
Hmm.
no one knows unless I go out. If I go certain places like Walmart and things like that, they know me. But like, no one knows what I'm sitting in my house doing on a Saturday evening. Like nobody
Yeah.
does that. And then it comes out online and then everybody sees it and it's just such an amazing thing. And
Mhm.
I love that because I said all that to say I met you online.
Very true.
And I have gotten to see you do amazing things. I have gotten to see you advance in your career. That's
True.
always good. But then I also saw you pick up a second career as a competitive bodybuilder.
Yes, yes, you were right. As I was starting that, yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I started that not long after I got to Hawaii. Like, yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'm still wanting to do it. I just moved to California and I just got in touch with a new coach. So we're getting ready to get started again. So yeah, I just remember my first competition. You're like, you deserve all the smoke. Good job. I was like, oh, Queen, thank
And
you.
the second
Thank
one,
you.
I saw the second one too.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. First, second, yeah, and I did one more right before I left Hawaii in July. So yeah, we're going for a fourth one before I retire. So yeah,
Retire?
yeah. Well, retire from the military. Sorry.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah,
scared
yeah,
me.
yeah.
I'm like, what?
No, no, no. Just before I make that big leap transition to civilian life, because I hit 19 years in the Air Force in February, and
Congratulations.
then and thank you. And next November, I'm eligible to apply for retirement, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm even taking that leap from the one thing I've known all my life. I joined the military when I was 20, and I turned 40 in April, and it's like, oh wow, just a lot of like a lot of process to do, and I'm a little shell shocked too. I'm a little nervous because I'm so used to being told what to do, and I just wear a uniform and go to work every day. It's like, oh goodness, I got choices, options now. There's a lot of stuff I want to do on the civilian side, but that's where we're at right now. So yeah, I still want to make one last round of bodybuilding on the mainland because I've only competed in Hawaii.
Yeah. Listen, friend, you are going to encounter many people that will not have a problem telling you what to do.
Of
Think
course,
about it. Think about it.
of
Okay,
course.
let that one linger. You're not
Yeah.
gonna have a problem with finding people that take pleasure in telling you what to do. My God,
Very true. Very
you
true.
will
I guess I'm
see.
just yeah, we'll see. Like I'm just so used to like the structure, just
Yeah,
military. Like it's just because my parents were military too, so it's like that's all I've grown into. I grew up in it, and then I adopted it on my own as an adult.
and you're
So
highly decorated. They need to know that you're highly decorated. You got your master's degree. What was it? Because I saw you said you achieved a special ranking and you wrote about it online. What was that? It was a while ago, but you talked about it.
Well, I became a master sergeant, like a
There we
senior
go.
non-commissioned officer. Yeah, so it's a new tier of enlisted in the military. So I'm an E7, and I'm two from the top rank. So of chief master sergeant, which is an E9. So it's something I've entertained doing it, but I think I'm good where I'm at right now. It's a big jump. It's a challenge. I've only had that rank for a little over a year, and I'm like, you know what, I'm at a good spot. And it was to a point where my father came, who's retired Army, to fly over to Hawaii to put my rank on. So that meant a lot to me too.
I saw that.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually crying at my promotion ceremony, just dad and the. So I mean, my dad lives in Europe. He's retired, but he took a government job out there. So he flew across the world, put back on his uniform because he hung it up in 2005, and he put it back on for me. So it was like, Dad.
Oh, I love that because, it's so funny because what our parents do, we grow up seeing. And then as we see it, even when we try to do other things, we find our way back into what our parents do. And
Mhm.
my grandmother raised me, and she was a educator. She was always an educator, and she did that for 40 years. And it's not by happenstance that I'm not just an entertainer. I'm an intellectual entertainer. So
Mhm.
I get paid to think. So it's just so funny because what she poured into me, I was able to use and turn it into my own business. So yeah, but I remember seeing her lecture and teach and do those things. So the apples truly never fall far from the tree. They never do.
Indeed, they don't. And it may not be like a linear, path for them. Like you don't have to be like a direct educator, but you take pieces of what you got from your grandmother and adopt that on your own. So, my dad's Army, I'm Air Force. And, like I've always liked his, like his discipline, this structure, just a lot of those things I carried on with him, and he called me the other day. He said, son, you're going to be the first person in this generation in your family to make it to retirement because all my cousins all separated. You're the only one. You'll be the first and the only one so far to make it to the full 20 and retire. I'm like, early congrats. I'm like, Dad, I haven't retired yet, but thank you. It's like something that another, I guess, feather in his cap about about that, and something for me. I'm not big on like brands, and I got nothing against people who want to establish their brand or have one. It's just like, well, this is kind of like my brand, but I'm kind of like it's a family brand. It's a family business. I would say, much being military because I have lots of military relatives, so that's something that I can keep close to the chest. And say, hey, I did that.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm really like, I've been with these conversations. I just take my time because it's nice to sit with you guys whom I have seen. Like you said, I have witnessed the triumphs in your life. So to get you here, it's just, and to be able to tell you thank you because people do not understand, you sharing your life, your accomplishments, happy moments, bodybuilding, all these things. It really gives us something. And I'm speaking of myself as well as others. It gives us something to kind of look. It's not just entertainment. It gives us something to be a part of. Like we're a part of it. We witness it. We see it. You get all the congratulations and it's like, yes, you've done this, you're that. And that really does matter, especially to, I have people that say to me, Queen, I've been watching you since high school. And I'm like, damn, I've been active that long. And I have. It's been 21 years. As far as entertainment go, I've done every platform. And then Instagram is the one where it really took off. And I've been the queen for 12 years because it was two off camera. And then she went public. And I've been public for 10 years. So,
Oh,
yeah. So it's just really amazing because we don't oftentimes get to do this. We don't get to do this because you have lives. I have a life, you have a life. And like you said, we had to figure out how to carve out some time to do this. So I really am like, I'm grateful. Like I've been really practicing that lately because, I look at the state of the world and I look at what's going on and I realize that I'm very fortunate. And my fortune comes in knowing amazing people like you. I will take people over anything any day. Like, it really is an amazing thing. We're a part of each other's networks. That's why even when I did this, even the first one, I had to get a new phone, which is why I didn't have it from the first one. But like, they don't understand. Like, it's like, shoot me your number, give me your email address, and here's mine. Like, we text. That's how I knew you were like, hey, Queen, I'm at the gym right now, and I'll be home in time. And then I'm like, what did I say? I said, oh, good. So that means you'll have a pump going on when you, yeah,
Just a little pump, just a little pump.
yeah, you'll have a pump going on when you walk in here to talk to me. I was excited about that. Like, yeah, I was excited about that. I was like, listen, because I like it, because I find that with social media, it puts your friends in the right perspective and space in your life. Your friends are there. They're there to support you, even the ones in real life. And I don't even want to say in real life. I'll say off camera, because this is all real life. It's all real life. So I'll say the ones off camera. But never should your friends try to dictate to you what you do with your life. I don't believe in that. They should be there to cheer you on, because it's your path. You have to walk it. Now, I believe in advice. I believe in expertise. I believe in all of those things. But I like social media because when we post it, we already did it.
Amen to that. True that. True that. We already did it.
Yeah, we already did it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no, don't do that. And you're like, how you
It's been done.
It's been done. And I don't think people realize that about this situation. This is a good situation because it teaches you to be unapologetic. It teaches you to live your life, make your own decisions, and then post about it. Then publicize them. I look at what I did. We never have to worry about people saying, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really know if that's for you.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about that. And because we don't have to worry about that, we get closer. We're closer because it's like, oh, well, look what you did today. And then your friends that they come online and they're like, yeah, you get the fire emojis, you get the heart emojis. Me, I'm taking it saying, we love you with the heart and the sparkle. Like, you get all of those things because you did it already. You made the decision already for your life. I love that because it puts people in their prospective place where they belong in your life. Oh my God. So what did you work out today? Because you were at the gym. What today? What was today?
Oh, today was just a little arms day. I'm on a new plan, so just like little upper body, just like triceps, biceps, just a little bit of cardio. I had to kind of make it a little brief because time got ahead of me. Like, I was kind of like dilly dallying in the gym a little bit, and then I realized I'm like, oh shoot, I got to meet up with Queen. So I was like, all right, quick pump, real quick, and then I'm out. But yeah, it was just a rest from. I did delts yesterday, so I just wanted to keep it going. Tomorrow I'll probably be a little active rest day with cardio, maybe some legs, but yeah, I keep it kind of routine. I kind of hit a little bit more on the weekends because during the week I'm so busy, and sometimes I don't get to the gym till like almost like 8, 9 at night. So, but yeah, I wanted to make sure I had it done because I didn't know how long things were going to last, and I get so wrapped up with unpacking. I was like, oh goodness. Like, I did like 2 boxes before I went to the gym. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Now, do you work out every day?
I work out about 5 days a week. One of the days is like an active rest day where I just do cardio or something light to keep my heart rate up and metabolism going. And then there's one day I don't do anything at all. So because you need to like rest up. That was a problem I was having. Like, it would hurt to work out because it was like, okay, you didn't give yourself a break. You give yourself a time off. So like, your body needs to recuperate, and I wasn't listening to it. And then my body's like, oh, okay, well, we'll teach you, buddy. Now you can't do anything. I was like, okay.
Yeah. No, because you're in excellent shape here too. But I was going to say, I've seen you transform to competition weight, and And I want to say, I love you both ways. I love you both ways.
Oh, thank you, because I hated my bulk in March. Like,
Yeah, when it's shredded, it's great. When it's like this, it's great. And I
yeah.
love that you share those pictures, like you share the pictures and the videos, so we get to see, and we actually get to go through the transformation with you. Once again, we get to go through the transformation with you, and I love those. I love those so much because get this, we already know I post a lot of men on my page.
Mm-hmm.
We're all fascinated with the evolution of the man. So being able to see,
Mm-hmm.
the transformations that you show us, because people, there's a lot of people that work out, but they don't bodybuild. There's that inside knowledge that you and others like you possess. And a lot of us, like, because me, if I could be shredded all the time, I would. I haven't worked out in a while, but I'm getting ready to really start. And I used to lift really heavy because, coming from the fashion world, I lifted really heavy, but I was always really shredded, like really
Mm-hmm.
shredded and really thin. It wasn't as crazy, but models really do. We lift really heavy, and but that's been a long time. Like, that's been a long time. I think because my business got so busy, the last time I picked up something was 2021. I think
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah. So, and my thing is that, and I want to talk about that because I want to get your take on this too. When
Sure.
I had to stop to work, that mental shift, I might as well have traumatized myself. That was really hard because I had worked out like like I used to work out 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh my God. And I'm not gonna lie, being a young gay man, being thin and having a swimmer's build when I started, that was cool. I was able to pull men. But
Mm-hmm.
when I got that body, it was a different yeah, I had to think about it. It was a different ball game. So,
Mm-hmm.
I just love because see, I like adopting and I want to use this word, vices, because everybody has vices. I like adopting healthy vices. Things
Mm-hmm.
that I like to get addicted to doing things that will give me health and welfare and wellness and things like that. And the gym is really a huge thing for me. It always was, because living with mental illness as well, the gym helped regulate me. It wasn't just the therapy for 20 years and the medication and all of those things. Yeah, but the gym, being able to go to the gym, like, really kept me sane. And I remember when I had to stop, I went through it was like a crisis. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so funny because my grandmother and my nephew, I used to train with my nephew. He fluctuates in weight, but I taught him everything I knew because I learned how to properly weightlift in college. I took courses. And then
Mm-hmm.
after I took the courses, I also befriended a lot of men. Of course I did. On the football team. Of course I did. So I got to, like, learn how they worked out and how they lifted. That's why people used to be like, oh, you're so thin, but you lift so heavy. I did. I was able to because it was core, and I didn't go into that. I built up to that. One of my buddies who's online, who I know through the internet, his name is Hayden Monteleone, and we all know him. He's quite famous online, and he's Spanish, and he always comes to us, and he always serves. I post him a lot. He serves a lot of body, and I remember like 2 days ago, he gave us something different, which was him in the gym bench pressing. And I looked at how much he was bench pressing, and I said, Hayden, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I bench pressed that weight. And he was like, what? I'm like, yes, I bench press that weight. But Sid's getting older, because I'm 42 now, and I've been out of it for a while. I'm not looking to go back and just become a beast. That's not going to happen. I want to tighten up. I want to firm up. I'm just going to do what I know to do. But having the information does matter. But I wanted to say, like, with the whole way that you lift and bodybuild, and I'm staying there with you because I'm such a fan to see, like, because get this, a lot of the guys that I met, they were already in it. So
Mhm.
I got to see your inception, and I got to see you actually start it and then shred and then celebrate and have that cheeseburger after, like, well, only one. I only saw one. It wasn't overdoing it,
Mhm.
but I got to see, how you put back on your normal weight that you go through life with. And that kind of information, a lot of us covet. We want that information. How do they do that? But you don't give that information for free. You don't get that for free.
Um,
You had to
yeah.
hire, yeah, you had to hire a coach. You had to,
Yeah.
you had to do that. But I'm so, me, I'm enamored with it. Bodybuilding to me is one of the most beautiful sports I ever see anyone doing. And then I love when I see black men in it. I love when I see black men in it because
Yeah.
our bodies display like nobody else's business. Like,
I tell you.
yeah, we really, right? Our bodies display. And that is, I look at the display, and what I love is everybody's body is different. They lift according to their body.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. And I saw, like, you're like, what's your class? Like, are you what would be considered your class?
Well, my category, I'm in men's physique, so I'm the guy that we wear the board shorts. So I'm in an open, like the classes I competed in were like an open class. So with men's physique, we're stacked up by just our height. So I'm in open class A. So we're up to, in some categories, it's up to like 5'8", and then they break up to like 5'9" to maybe like 5'11", and then like more and more than that, and then goes like B, C, D, E. And then, since I'm military, I'm in an armed forces division I compete in, and then I'm also in a master's category, which is based on my age. So I'll be like 35 and up. So those are the ones I compete in. I can't do any more novice categories because in my first competition, I won first place in the true novice, and that's for people who've never competed at all. And novice is for people who have never won first. So when I won true novice, it knocked me out of novice. So I was like, okay, well, all right. So I did well. I won like overall in that category too. So that was like my very first competition. You saw me with the Hawaiian crown and the belt and everything. So yeah, that was nice to hit a home run. Like, it's one thing to compete, there's one thing to like get up there and actually win your first time. So that was something I'm very proud of, and to make my coach out there happy too. And because I was not in that state. I was like, oh, I'll just be happy if I cut. Oh, I'll just be happy till I get on stage. And then showtime, I'm like, no, I'm about to knock these Iowa boys out of this. I'm ready to take no prisoners. But yeah, that was just a mentality. It was just evolution of mentality that I had. So, because I struggled with my first 6 months of that bodybuilding plan. Like, I wasn't eating right, I wasn't disciplined, and then one day, it all came together. It just snapped together. And my coach was like, "You've done more in a month than you did the past 5, 6 months with us. Like, what happened?" And it was just, I don't know. It was like I just wanted it enough, and it was just like, "Hey, I'm wasting money." That was the biggest thing. I'm wasting money. Like, you're not going anywhere. I'm like, dude, do you want to get on stage? And a buddy of mine, coworker that I ended up competing with last year, he's like, "Dude, stop making contingencies. Make a goal and go for it. No matter what happens, you just say you went up there and you went the distance." So that's something, advice that I would say I would give to anybody who's potentially compete. Like, have a plan, stick with it, have a trajectory, and just stand and deliver. Let's just go all in. Like, don't go into it like, don't go into it like wishy-washy. Don't go into it like go to a half-assed. So just go all in. And that's what I did. And that's why I'm, successful with it. Even on the bulking part, you have to go all in. Because I hated it. When
Yeah.
like in March, when you saw me cut, I looked like melted ice cream. Like, I was so big. But the critique was from my previous competition, like I was too lean. How did that happen? You shred too fast. I'm like, how is that a problem? But they're like, hey, size is the prize. So I put on about 40 pounds, and then I cut back down about 20 of it. And then I looked great. Like, you can see like the photos over time, my first, second, and third competition. Like, everyone's like, dude, you got big. And I'm like, okay, cool. I need to keep that. Unfortunately, I
Yeah.
had to move. So we'll see where we are now with this new coach that I have.
Get this.
Yeah.
I have a question that I want to know personally. Why
Sure.
is it? Why is it that size is such such a sought after thing? Why do they always talk about size?
My personal take on it is that the Olympia was just a couple of weeks ago, like the big pro ones, and so it's kind of a trickle down effect. So if that's what the judges are looking for at these big national pro competitions, it's going to go down to more of the like the more amateur, like starting out ones. I'm like, okay, they want size 2, so that's what it is. I think it just comes from up top.
Wow. See, people
So
don't.
what if it's like if we want more lean from the pros, everybody's going to get lean then. So it's just they follow what the pros say.
Wow. But see, that's what people don't understand. It's like everything else. It's a hierarchy. It's a system. It's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I hope to see you competing for many years to come because I know, like, I remember you would post about it. It was difficult. It was difficult. You would talk about, how focused you had to be, but you also would then say, but I love this, I love doing what I do. And I
Mm-hmm.
was always like, okay, good. Cause what, a lot of us outsiders from that world, we see you guys, you have to cut. And I had somebody else tell me, like, I can't live in that shredded stage look all year round. That's not
You can't.
healthy.
It's
Yeah.
not because you're going against. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, no,
It's
no,
just
you
you're
were right.
going.
And that's what I wanted to happen. Please.
Yeah, you're going against your body's own natural preservation. Your body doesn't like that strain that it's putting on itself. Like all the cutting, excessive cardio, like you're fighting against your own body. That's why you're tired all the time. You're irritable. You're emotional. Like me, like I couldn't remember certain things. Like I sometimes like I think one time I think I cried almost because I thought I was cutting and I actually went up on the scale. Like it happens, but it was like I was already in my beginning of my cutting phase. I got on the scale and it's like I went up and I just literally like just started like crying. It's like,
Oh,
and it's not something. It's not that big. It really wasn't that big of a deal because the weight fluctuates. But that's the state you're in. Like no one sees like the body dysmorphia, the fact that you're online. I'm just comparing myself to a lot of people online a lot. Like that person's bigger than me. That person's better than me. That person's got more followers, got more likes. Like it's just a state that you're in, and I had to like kind of remove myself from that for a while because you're not staying on the course. Like you have your own trajectory. That person may be on substances that you're not on. That person has a different coach, has a different diet. Like person's built different genetically. It's like why are you worried about something that you can? I had to start worrying about things that I can control.
yeah. You can only
Yeah,
control the controllables. Yeah.
yeah. So the tangibles, yeah, like the controllables. It's just and I want to encourage people to do that. And also, bodybuilding is very expensive, so that's why I can only do it so much. And like somebody want to holler some sponsorships, like yeah, I'll jump on stage as many times as you can fund it. Trust me. I
Yeah.
just put a deposit on my place. Like I'm not trying to be eating ramen noodles and Vienna sausages, but I gotta make sure I balance everything too. So
Yeah.
but yeah, but I encourage anybody who wants to do it. Like I give people perspective all the time, and I managed to pull 2 people out of retirement when I did my first competition. It's like, oh my god, Brandon did it, and he's 37 at the time. And he's like, I'm about to do it too. All right, I can start now, and I'm like, hey, get up there. I got you, man. You need a pep talk? Reach back to me. So
You're always,
yeah.
and you do. You have such a beautiful body. Like I love it. Like that's why I was saying what I was saying. When you display for us online, you look good either way, and you got your dimples and a great smile. Like I didn't even know that. It put that much strain on you to do that. Like that. Thank you for sharing that because a lot of us, there are younger guys that you see them online and they're lifting, and they hope to one day compete. They hope
Mhm.
one day aspire. So to have someone here that actually is doing it, that's why I'm keeping the conversation here because I know these young guys, you're an expert. You're an expert. Like you said, you knocked yourself out of novice already. So you know what you're doing. You're talking about coaches, you're talking about, this, that, and the other. And it's really good to hear. And I didn't know that. Like I have seen guys say that though. They're really picky about the meal plans and the cutting back your sugars and all of that stuff. And to be quite honest like a lot of us don't bodybuild, but the way that we're eating and living kind of runs in that same direction, because you really do when you're lifting. See, my thing is, I was younger. That's why I know I have to do it right this time, because see, I was younger. You know, when you've got
Mhm.
that younger stamina and that spark and everything's tight and cool. So I could get away with eating sugar back then and
Yeah.
still have a tight stomach. I can't
Right.
now. I'm 42.
No, no.
Yeah, it won't happen for me that way. So I know, and my grandmother, she always laughs at me because she's like, you're gonna have to eat clean. You got to eat clean. You might as well start now. Like, she's right, and she's right. And me, it's not even really that I'm missing anything, because from the fashion world, there were certain things we did to maintain not gaining weight. I don't
Mhm.
eat red meat. I don't
Mhm.
smoke. I don't drink. And I know that may sound crazy, but I don't. I haven't eaten red meat since I was 16 years old.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't do that. And just that sacrifice alone, which really wasn't a sacrifice for me, kind of like kept my body in this constant state that even without being in the gym since what, 2020, 2021, I didn't put on a huge amount of weight. I didn't gain in places. Like, I didn't do that. I kind of kept the weight and stayed there and just got fluffy, you know?
Nice.
Yeah, I just got fluffy, and it was like, wow. And another thing, like when I return, I'm not rushing myself. I'm not going to try to lift the heavier. No, I'm going to start where I am, because that's how I
Mhm.
started in the beginning, a
Yep.
novice. Started where I was, and I lifted until I felt that I could lift literally the next plate. And I did that on every machine, shoulder press, seated row, all of that stuff. The flies,
Yep.
put it there. That seems like I can handle it. Do that for about a week, and then realize I can go up one plate. And and that's the thing. Like, I love fitness, which is why I'm talking to you this way, because it is so conducive for life. Like, when I look at guys like you that compete and do these things, and you're serious about it, like, it really is a way of life. You don't just go to a gym and be like, oh, I'm gonna lift weight to get a really good body. Like, I learned that truly abs are built in the kitchen. Abs are
Mhm.
not built in the gym. Like, how are you now on the mainland? Like, are you able, because you're not really bodybuilding right now, are you able to kind of indulge more restaurants and things now? Or are you still like, I'm getting ready to do another one soon, so let me kind of still be careful?
Well, I have a little bit of wiggle room now because I haven't started. Like I told my coach, I would start after Halloween, so
Yeah.
I've had my time off and I've been able to enjoy some. But me, I've never been a person that felt like I needed to go all in anyway. Like I don't drink a ton. I do love ramen. I do love a nice burger, and I'm a brunchaholic. So but in moderation and everything. When I do start prepping, I will have to cut out alcohol. But as far as like like indulging in like big like fast food and all that. I never really did all that anyway. So I do have some wiggle room, but I will have to tighten up at some point. Like when it's time to go, go cut again, I'll have to have like a cheat meal. I can have like a cheat meal every few weeks when I'm hitting my coach's like bottom line. I'm like, okay, you're here, so we're allowed to have that. Because I would have to ask my coach when I was cutting in Hawaii. He's like, look, you're plateauing your cut. You need a refeed in order to kind of like trick your body into cutting mode. So a lot of people don't understand how a refeed works. Because I only asked for one during my first competition. I didn't ask for any at all, and I had no idea.
What is a
And then my
refeed?
second, what's that?
I'm sorry, what is a refeed?
A refeed is like adding additional calories to you're already on your meal plan. You're adding an extra meal on top of that. And it's something like a burger and fries. My coach like, have a burger and fries on top of what you're already eating, so your body is like in a surplus, and so it kind of like tricks your body into kind of like recutting again, like almost like a recalibrating of
Yeah,
your metabolism again. It's like okay, because your body will get used to how you on your routine,
yeah.
and then you'll plateau. Like a few days in a row, I was like, I was not cutting the weight. I was doing the same amount of cardio. I didn't fluctuate my meal plans. I drank my water. I did everything. I'm like, why am I not cutting? I was like, okay, I think you need a factory, sort of a factory reset in a sense.
You
So
know, I, you want to know why? It's so funny because get this.
yeah,
I'm so fascinated by you. Like, this is my, I'm sitting here, I'm all prettied up. I'm sitting here, but this, like, fitness,
Yeah.
I will work out for the rest of my life. Like,
Mhm.
I really will. I enjoy it. I feel better and I look better. I look better. And it does help. And people don't understand, like, it does help with the way that other people see you. It does. A lot of us, and honestly, I never was one of those people that said I'm going to work out because I care about what people see. Like, I never was that. I started to work out because fashion required it of me. It was like, oh,
Mhm.
no, you're great, but you're thin, but you got to do this, stay thin, and you got to do that. Like, that was a part of the career.
Mhm.
I haven't been in fashion in, oh God, so long. I was like, what, 22, 23, and then I turned 24, and then I went into music. So, like, but I always, it was my first love and my passion. So I always maintained a love for it and a care for it. And I love, that's why, like, people don't understand. I'm not just posting you guys just for shits and giggles. I love the whole, like, because, when you can't do something at the moment, you can
Mhm.
still surround yourself with people that do.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what my page is for. I find you guys and I'm like, wow, you're doing this and you're doing that and you're doing this and you're doing that. And I'm enjoying it. So I post it because while I'm working, because like I tell people all the time, y'all came here for likes, views, shares, comments. I came here to launch a business. We are not the same. And
No.
yeah, we're not. We're not the same. And it's so crazy because you said that earlier. People are like, the likes and the this and they got this and they got that. My page has been shadow banned for a long time for posting Black and Latin men. And I've been very vocal about it. But look
Yes,
at
that's
this.
it.
Look at this. The divine is still good because even being shadow banned, now this is being shadow banned. I have literally, I'll go into my analytics. I do 1 million views a month. And
Mm.
I've been doing 1 million views a month for the last 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
And
That's
it's
good.
so crazy because you'll go and you'll go to the page and you're like, oh, well, she only has like 5 likes on that. Yeah, well, my views come from my non-followers.
Yeah.
Most of them, the majority.
Mhm.
And I always get on my following about that because I'm like, listen, they're not following me and they remember my name. They come
Mm.
back here every day. They type in my name because they're not following me. I don't pop up in their feed. I don't
No,
pop
not their
up.
sport cat. No.
Yeah, my content doesn't pop up in their feed, which means they're actively coming here. And I always
Mhm.
tell my following, like, yo, they showing you up. They showing you up. Like, but at the same time, no, like I really enjoy this, and I'm keeping you there because I know there's so many other great facets to you. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on. Yeah, but I kept
Mhm.
you there. I kept you there because you're a pro. You're a pro.
Oh,
You're a-
I'm not a pro. I've had some reps. Like I don't have a pro card yet,
It's
but
coming.
that's something. Was
It's
it?
it's coming.
Oh, we're manifesting. We're manifesting the pro card. We'll see.
Yeah.
Like my coach here. I found he's got really good hopes for me. He's like, oh man, you have such a great baseline. I'd love to take you there. I'm like, whoa. Let's just see if what you have me on is flowing, ebbing and flowing. But no, I honestly look. I'm gonna take a little humble pie. Like I don't think I'm that big of a deal. Like honestly, I'm not an influencer. I'm just a regular military guy who just gets a little zesty online every now and then. I just and I travel. I just share this thing like, hey, this is my life. You want to take a look? Cool. If not, hey, have a good day. This is just a day in the life. But it's nice to know that sometimes I actually kind of like I'm that pressure point to kind of like tip people over into doing something great, or it may motivate somebody in some way. So that means a lot to me. I've had people join the military because of me. I've had people jump to bodybuilding or take a more active lifestyle, or just jump on, get a passport and travel. Like if that helps you, then great. But I don't even I don't make a big deal about myself. I'm just a regular guy. So, but I appreciate when I get asked to like, hey, you want to be a part of my interview? I'm like, me?
Oh
the,
my God.
the little military guy, you know.
You
So,
know what's so funny? I'm sitting here like, Brandon, shame on you.
oh.
Listen, I read your comments. Everybody says the same thing I do. You're gorgeous, great, the fire emojis. But you know what? You're right, though. I get it. I mean, after all, I'm just normal, too. I'm not doing anything special.
Oh, stop.
Clearly not, right? Clearly not.
You're doing great. You're
Maybe
doing
that's
great.
a lie.
And I love
Right,
it.
right. Clearly that's a lie. But I'm glad that I heard that from you because then I get to be able to counteract that and say, you're impacting way more people than you think. Because you have made an impression on me and all of us, like I said, all of us that came here to launch our business, I've kept in touch with you for years. It's been
Yeah,
years.
of course. Yeah, I think you fall. Yeah, I was in Europe when you
Yeah,
first came across me. Yeah, this is 3 assignments later. I was in
yeah.
Korea, Hawaii.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, 3 assignments later, y'all.
yeah, yeah.
But you know what's so
You're
funny?
following,
I
but I
see
appreciate you
that.
following. Kind of like I. I leave a little trail of breadcrumbs, so I'm glad that people are able to kind of follow my tracks a little bit, because I move around so much because of the military. But it's nice. It's nice that people are keeping up with me,
We
even
are.
from afar.
We are. We
It
are.
does mean a lot. It does because I'm away.
Yeah.
Well, I'm away and abroad a lot, so it gets very lonely out there. You'd be surprised, because
Wow.
I'm not where everybody is. I'm not like in Atlanta. I'm not in LA. I'm not. I'm just not in very populated places. So I'm just like, oh, well, they're having all fun together. I'll just be on this island, doing my thing, or I'll be in North California. But but the thing is with me, and it's okay, and a person gave me some advice that I try to give on to others is grow where you're planted, grow where you're planted. And I have everywhere I go, like something good happens. Like, I wasn't expecting to be moving to California. It was not on my bingo card, but I'm like, I think I'm here for a reason. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna just go into it, charge head first into it, on good faith, and possibly that something good will shake out. So
Now, when you retire, do you think you'll stay in California?
it will depend on where I get a good job at. Honestly, I would love to join the business when I retire because my dream is to open a small coffee shop. So yeah, like a little mini, like little mom and pop, like not a big one, just not like a Starbucks or anything, but something that has like unique coffee because I want to make like coffee flights, like beer flights, but I want to make it with coffee. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you want to try this little coffee, this coffee? It's something that's like unique to me. It's like, oh, we need to go to his coffee shop because he sells this coffee. And there's a lot of programs and courses that teach military members how to do it on their transitioning out of the military. So I'll just go, but I would love to be back on the East Coast, closer to family. I'd love to move back to Tampa, but with the storms and all the bad weather, it's like,
Mm,
uh,
yeah, don't do
but
that.
I love Tampa. I loved my time in Tampa when I was stationed there before I moved to Europe. Before you befriended me, but I'll I'm kind of up in the air about it. Like if California's great, I'll give it some time, and I may just relocate. Well, it really just where the wind blows and how much of a support system I can cultivate. So that's my biggest thing, just getting settled in, growing a support system. And I do have a couple of friends out here I've met already, so that's been great. So it's like, okay, I'm not completely alone. Like I ran into some friends I knew at the gym, and I was at their wedding. Like when I was in Hawaii, I was like, you invited me, you only knew me on social media. So it's like, there's something there. There's like a good nugget here. So I'm operating out of that good faith.
There was
So
so much you just said to me, and I'm excited about many points. So here we go.
yeah.
So first of all, going into business for yourself is very difficult, but the thing about it is your business idea, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, you've traveled the world, you've sampled coffee from many places, and
Mm-hmm.
that'll be a selling point for you because they'll be talking about, oh, this coffee, that coffee, this, and you'll be like, well, when I was stationed in here and then here and then here, that will actually bring, because remember with businesses, so many people have trouble with business because they're just trying to sell the product or the service, but people buy us.
Mm-hmm.
The lay member doesn't realize that. They buy us. They buy our experiences. Why are you doing this? And then when you have a good story like you, well, I've traveled to many places and I've sampled many coffees and different styles, and coffee's always been something I enjoy. Because you had me when you said it, because I love coffee. My thing right now is I'm on iced coffee. I buy it.
Mhm.
from one of our healthy stores around here, and it's the caramel macchiato, but it's not Starbucks. It's really good, and it's what's so funny is it's a mom and pop company who got their stuff in the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. And when I tell you I drink that coffee, like literally, it's to the point where I was getting ready and it was time, and I had a cup sitting out, and I went and put it back in the refrigerator because I wasn't pouring out my cup of coffee. Like, I'm coming back to you, and I meant it. I'm coming back to you when this camera goes off. Like yes, like it's just, and like my grandmother, it's so funny because like I said, coming from fashion and being an entertainment and being an entertainer altogether, I always like I didn't have to watch my weight because modeling taught me to just, but I always I don't eat as often as people would think that I should. Even I'm gonna be honest, even my doctor's like, well, you're a good weight, but for your height, because I'm 5'11", he's like, you could
Oh,
really stand. Yeah, he's like, you could stand to be this, and I tell him all the time, that ain't gonna never happen.
oh,
That ain't gonna never happen. No, because I really do. What 42 do you know? What 42-year-old do you know looks like this? Not many.
no.
Not many. So my thing is, it's not a sacrifice for me. It's a sacrifice for everyone around me because they have to wrap their head around the idea that, damn, he's not going to eat a lot. My grandmother, it drives her crazy, but I do me and I'm healthy and my physicals never had cancer, none of these things. I'm taking good care of myself, so I just don't, honestly, I tell people all the time, if I could have a smoothie and drink my food all the time, I would. I would. Which is I would naturally lose weight. I naturally
Mhm.
would. But I would. I'm not a big eater. I'm not. Now I'm going to tell on myself. I love sweets. I love sweets.
Oh,
But
me too.
yeah, but get this. With me not eating as much as I do, I've kind of been able to get away with it. Because
Oh yeah.
I don't have a full course meal in there and then try to cram in sweets. I'll have my coffee. I'll have something light. Like, what did I have last night? Last night I got these organic wheat noodle Chinese or Asian bowls that you kind of like heat up. And
Mhm.
it's not really good for you. They're fresh and they're made fresh, but you have to still pop it in the microwave. So it's not really
Mm.
good. Yeah, it's not microwavable food. You really don't want to do. And I'm going to just say that to everybody. You really don't want to do that. I've tried these noodles for the first time. I'm not very sure I'm going to buy them again because I really don't do microwave. I never go downstairs and have to microwave. Now, there are some things I will air fry. Like I do a lot of tilapia. I do a lot
Okay.
of tilapia. Yeah, tilapia is my go-to. I love fish. But get this, getting older, knock on wood, I do have a situation where I can't have a lot of dairy. And he said no red meat, but I definitely can't have shellfish because for a long time, even in my 20s, I had high cholesterol. And
Oh,
my doctor never treated it. She was like, you're young, you're active, you work out, you'll be fine.
it'll fall off or something like that. Like,
Yeah, but it
okay.
didn't.
Uh,
Brandon, it didn't. So
mm,
I felt fine and things like that. But my new doctor, and he's the first male doctor I've ever had because I've always had women doctors. I love that. Black women doctors. I don't play. But my doctor now is Caucasian, and he's my first doctor who is, a male. But he, honestly, I must say, and he's younger. He's younger than me.
mhm.
He takes the best care of me. At one point, when we found out that my cholesterol was high like that, I had to see him every month. I saw him every month for 2 years because he wanted to make sure that it was under control. And I told him, and it was so funny because I said, when I move to Europe, you're going to have to come there. You're going to have to, do the doctor's visits. He was like, listen, I have a concierge service. You pay for it, I'll come.
Mm, I tell you.
So, and now it's to the point where my grandmother's doctor, look at us just talking, we talk about everything. My grandmother's doctor is older, But he went back into, because I'm on the East Coast, so big over here in Pennsylvania is Jefferson Health. He had a private practice, but he sold his practice to Jefferson because they really did go into the community and buy up all the private practices and make everybody. They hired the doctors, but now the workload is crazy, and he's an older doctor trying to keep up with the workload, and it's crazy on him. So she had to leave him, and she didn't want to leave him, but she trusts my doctor because my doctor takes excellent care of me. Excellent care. But I said all that to say, like, I will always ask you back to my platform because I like your idea that, oh, I'm just a normal guy. But honestly, I don't think you realize what social media has done to you. I don't think you realize that social media, when you started posting and you started ticking all the boxes, okay, he's black. That's a plus. He works out. That's a plus. Like when, educated, that's a plus. Free spirited, that's a plus. Like you started being, and I'm going to say it, you started being appealing. Heavily appealing. So I don't think you realize that these people that are watching you, including me, because you're appealing, you're alluring. And once you hit that mark, that's when you, like you said, you can turn around and build a business, and your online bros are going to come. Your online bro, we're going to be sitting in your coffee shop. Just tell us where you're opening it. Like, I'm staying there because I really feel like you can do that. And I really feel like you should really give that some thought. I really do. I really think you should because, a lot of people get this. I do these monologues before I sit down with my guest and we talk. But in the monologue that I did today, see, look at Spirit. In the monologue that I did today, I was speaking about something that my nephew was talking to me about one of his acquaintances at his job. And what I was saying was, don't go into business to make a quick buck or to sell your business. A lot of people, especially these young kids today, they want to go into business. They don't realize how long it's going to take to really turn over a profit. They never realize.
Yeah, you don't make money your first year, I heard.
Yeah, never. You don't make money your first 5 years, but that's okay. We're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
They got to pay us. That's the coaching. But literally, they don't realize that. And I've heard a lot of young people as of lately saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go into business. I'm gonna create a brand, and then I'm gonna sell it to a bigger conglomerate." And I've heard my colleagues and people that are thought leaders say, you are not really thinking this thing through because you're going to lose a lot of money having had to build it. You're going to lose a lot of money having to build it. And then, selling it off, you're not keeping any residual income. I heard some people say, "Oh, well, I'll get a small this, that, and the other." And my nephew said, that's not a good way either because then they'll just close your company. Your residual goes away, and they take your idea, remix it, make it their own, put their money into it, make it larger, and now they done took your idea because you sold it lock, stock, and barrel, and now they don't owe you anything.
Well,
so I was saying, yeah.
You spitting.
Yeah, listen, so I said that today. I'm like, listen, don't go into business just to jump ship. Like, you got to go. One thing about me, I've been in business for myself in entertainment for 21 years. A lot of them years were hard. They're just now starting to get good. Just now. And I started at 19. I am 42. And I did a video about that. I said, listen, you don't know how long it's going to take you to do what you want to do. And for me, it was entertainment. It took me this long because I took no shortcuts. I didn't go, I was mainstream at it for a while, and they wanted me to sign this label, and they wanted me to do this, and they wanted me to do that. But literally, I've always seen myself, even as a model, most people don't realize, as a model, you are a small business. And I've always kind of had that in my mind, that I was going to be responsible for a bulk of my income and a bulk of my responsibilities, financial responsibilities. So I've always known that. Nobody was going to give me a handout. So I've just kind of always been that way. So, a lot of these kids don't realize Like, you got to be in business for a long time, and you got to love what you do. And not just that, you have to impact your customers. So when you said to me, I want to do a coffee shop, and it automatically, you didn't even say this, but I automatically thought, having followed your journey for a very long time, I really said to myself, I said, well, he's drank coffee from all over the world. So that'll work. Like, I immediately bought you.
Mhm.
You see, immediately. I knew the story. I was acquainted with the story. That for you is an excellent idea. You know,
Well,
just from one entrepreneur to another, that's an excellent idea because it's something that is you. It is something that is completely tied to who you are. And that's amazing. Well, as a military man, I drank a lot of coffee. I didn't drink, a lot. So I drink a lot of coffee. Like, the story. The story is what's going to sell it. And I would venture to say that your little shop, mom and pop shop, is not going to be a mom and pop shop. It's not going to be. It's going to be bigger.
mhm.
It's going to be bigger. I believe that for you. I really see that for you because, my God, what I was going to also say is, because I already asked you, when you retire, you're going to stay in California. Where do you feel most at home with? Because I thought, with the whole bodybuilding and things like that, I thought Vegas once, and I thought warm weather. For you, you said East Coast. I'm over here in Philadelphia. It's cold right now, but I like it here. So where do you think you would open that kind of business?
Honestly, I actually thought moving either back to Florida or someplace where there's seasons. That's one thing I did miss about living in Oahu, is it the fact that there were no seasons. Like, fall is my favorite time of year. So
Uh,
I like the place that has like a good market, because the reason I selected Tampa is because, one, I know the place, and I think it'd be a good market to pull things from. Like, it's a military town, it's a sports town, it's a college town.
yeah.
So you got people who are studying. You got people who study. You got kids who are studying in college. You got people who go on coffee dates. A lot of people work and commute. People need their caffeine in the morning. I could get a contract on base, since I am military. Get on there, because that's what happened in Hawaii. There's a coffee shop right next to the headquarters building I worked in. There's a guy who retired Air Force, never left. He opened like a little small little room in the building, and it's not like a place you sit down, but it's kind of like an assembly line. But that place is always packed, and it's called like Old Joe's Coffee, and he has like Kona coffee from Hawaii, from the islands. And so it's like, oh man, I need to, rub some elbows, get some of that Kona coffee where I'm going. So it's like, oh man, this is great. I didn't make it to Big Island, Hawaii, where I wanted to go to where that coffee was grown. But, I was always at the coffee shops in Oahu, like, because I just love coffee that much. Like, in fact, I loved it so much where I had to get 2 cleanings a year from the dental clinic because it used to stain my teeth. So I used to, like, my teeth had to be power washed damn near. So, because I drank so much of it. And then my coach would never let me drink coffee with creamer or sugar, so I would have to slam black coffee. But I'm like, well, if I have to drink coffee black, I need to have good tasting coffee to throw back. So I would go all off. So I got to get you some of that coffee from out there. Yeah. I have to get your address out and let you
Yeah.
brew it up. So I
Yeah.
don't know if you want grounds or K cups, but I'll make sure you get some out that way so you can try.
Grounds.
Okay, grounds
Yeah.
it is. Because some people like whole beans. I like whole bean, and sometimes I just grind my own. Or if I'm lazy, I just get the grounds. So,
You know what? I'm gonna text you my address right after this. Because I love coffee. Like, I never thought that I would be a big coffee drinker, but that drink really does something to me. I enjoy it. Like, I really enjoy it. And I don't eat a lot. So, it also is like a diuretic too. So it makes me not really hungry. It's a way to, kind of
yeah,
maintain what I already have going on over here. So,
yeah,
like I was going to say, my grandmother, she always makes sure, she always asks me, do you have coffee? Let's go to the store. Let's get it. Like,
yeah,
she always makes sure I have it. No, you have a great idea, and that's a great business venture. And it's not one that someone can steal from you, because the coffee shop will be you. It's
yeah,
you. It's your experience. They can open a coffee shop, but it's not going to be your experience. It's
yeah,
not going to be yours. And that's how I did it. Because in a business of entertainment where everyone wants to be an entertainer in some way, shape, or form, my saving grace was me.
Mm-hmm.
Me, the way I do things, the way I emote, the way I sing, the way I write a song, the way I record a song, the way I sing. Like that was what kept me in demand. You know, and one of my A&Rs used to always tell me, you're special because you don't have a voice that everybody else has. You're special because you have uniqueness. So I love that. And I love that I asked you here because to me, you're unique. I don't see you any different than any of the other guys that I post. I don't see you any different. And now, because you said that, I'm going to be posting you all the time. You're going to be sick. You're going to DM me like, Queen, you can stop posting me now.
Well,
Because I'll be posting like, look at
post away. I never I just like when I ever see a post, I'm like, oh, all right.
you.
Thanks. I
And you know
appreciate it.
what's so
Thank you.
funny? You always thank me too. And I'm just like, oh, you're welcome. But like, I did it for me.
Well, well, okay. Well, you're welcome, man.
Yeah, I did it for me. I wanted to make sure I could find that again.
All
Oh,
right.
right? Like,
Right, whatever works. Whatever
it's
works.
crazy.
Yeah.
Look, us having a conversation. We done did the hour. We
Oh,
done
okay.
did
No
it.
worries.
It happened. Look, but that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting down. I'm talking to amazing people. You are an amazing, amazing man. You are, and I enjoy my bird's eye view into your life, into the things that make you happy. I don't care about somebody else's stuff unless I care about them. And that's the thing. Coming into your life, seeing what you did, immediately I cared. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the journey. I'm on the roller coaster. And I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. You've even said it. I met people online that I was friends with. Yeah, like I'm really excited about continuing to watch, to see you retire, to see you take your next step, and to be there, like, welcome, civilian, to be there to celebrate that milestone in your life. I look forward to that. So, my God, thank you for coming and sitting and just having a real conversation with me. That
Anytime, Queen. Anytime for you.
is what it is. So,
Mm-hmm.
listen, the first time you were here, I did give me 3 words that inspire and empower you. This time, and I already know it now, it is make one wish and say it out loud, so that it is charged and recorded and charged in the atmosphere and comes back to you. But I've heard you make a wish, but let's see what you say. Make a wish.
Um, I wish to thrive and be successful in everything I put my mind to.
Yes,
There we go.
that's a good one.
Okay.
Don't go away. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings and humility of Mr. Brandon Fowler. Don't go away. So did you enjoy? Was the conversation everything you thought it would be? It was for me. I love catching up with my friends. It was absolutely amazing. So if you thought it was amazing, please continue to watch, comment, like, and share. And most of all, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you, and I do this for you. Good, wholesome content about self-love, self-confidence, and self-healing. The Queen of Shade loves you all. Remember my name, the Queen of Shade. Mwah.
You could have more of me, but I'm questioning your loyalty. But you know my love is never free. Little boy, come get your daddy, please. And I wish you could have more of me, but I'm questioning your loyalty. But you know my love is never free. Little boy, come get your daddy, please. I'm not the only one. boy. Turn that TV down.